I'm going to just do a quick show and tell on using Canva, just some of the basics that would be helpful if you already have some templates created. So for example, let's say that I've already created a couple graphics and I like the layout of it, and all I want to do is change what it says, change maybe the image behind it. So I can come in here and you'll see these two, they look like the same image. This one is sized for Facebook. This one is sized for Instagram. And I know that only because when I came to design it in the first place, up here you can choose to design it for Facebook. And then once you do one of them, I'll show you a shortcut to quickly change it from a Facebook size to a Twitter size, Instagram, and so forth. So let's just say I like this layout. I think this is one that has a fat square, and so I'm going to show you how to find and choose these squares around here. So I'm going to pick this one. I think I just chose the Instagram one, so it doesn't matter. Whichever one you pick, you're going to start with that template. And you can also look through these templates where it says layouts. They've got some templates here. So let's say I wanted to change the template to be this one, and then I'm going to change the fonts, and then I would just click on this. Although this one says there's a cost to it, so typically I look for the ones that say free, but this one would have, and whenever they have a cost to it, they put the grid across it until you download it, and then it charges for that particular layout, which is funny that they would charge for this layout because there's a bunch of them in here that are free that look the same. So you can scroll through and click on, see, the reason I really like this one is because it has this white box at the bottom that you can put your website in. So I'm going to choose this ice cream one. It has a crisp, clean line here. There's some other ones that are cool that looks like a hand-drawn line. Again, you can start with one of these templates and then come over. After I'm done with the layout, I would come to choose my background image. So let's say that I want to choose this image. I drag it until it takes over. So again, if you just click it like this, it didn't take over, it put it on top. But if I drag it until it takes over, and then if I want to center it, I just double click on the image. So double click on the image, which is on the side. There we go. And then you'll see where I can actually move it over one way or the other. Or sometimes it's a vertical image, so I can move it up and down. So I would get it to where I want the photo centered, and then I just click the little check mark and it changes the image in the background. Then let's say that I want this text to move down a bit. I can move all of this around. It's just giving me a good template to start. So I can take this and I can rearrange it, and then I can just click on the text and replace it and put my own text here. And let's say that I wanted something, hashtag balance or hashtag relax or whatever I would be trying to match up with this image. And again, I can now say, oh, I need to use the client's font. So I would select the font and come up here to the font choices, and I could change the font. I downloaded one. Again, you can upload your own fonts in here, but I have one that I really like. They look more handwritten. And then again, if you're using the client's font for most of it, and then use one different font to stand out. I'm going to use, I think this is one of our clients' fonts, the Gotham book. So I would choose that font for most of it. And again, when you're dragging things around, you'll see the little crosshairs that tell you when something is centered. So if I was trying to center this box, if it got off center, drag it until you see the crosshairs in both directions, and then you know it's centered. So that's a super easy way to take an existing layout where you can choose someone else's layouts and just customize it to be your own. Now I'm going to show you real quick, if this is an Instagram size, let's say I want it for Twitter. I come up here to File, and I say Magic Resize. And then I select the boxes that I want it to be resized for. So I can choose for Twitter. And if I choose Twitter and I say Abracadabra Resize, it will open another tab If you're working in here for a while, you'll have a lot of tabs open. And all of a sudden you see it's resized for Twitter. It's wide and narrow. But that means now I have to just come and, make a few adjustments to my image because it's just resizing it and keeping everything in here for you, but you'll still have to come in and make some tweaks in here. So, suddenly this looks kind of lost. So I may want to just move things around, or I may want to change where I've put it. So, again, at least you're starting out with a good template, and then you've got it pretty easy. I would make that font bigger because it seems lost in there. One other thing I want to show you, I think I started to talk about this. I'm not going to save that one. I started to say when you take an existing image, so if I take this image and I want to basically use this layout, and this one I've put a black box on top of the line, and then I came up here to the transparency area and I made the black box a little transparent so that it would blend into this background, and then I put the hashtag that I wanted on top of the black box. But all this is just a basic template or a basics blank that I started with, and I just put the image, and then I found the thin line. I really like this one, and it's found in the elements, your shapes, but it's way down at the bottom. So you have to scroll slowly. If you scroll too fast, it won't go. So you scroll very slowly, and you can see more adding in here. But this skinny box is way at the bottom. I mean, it's just, you keep scrolling and scrolling past all of the colored shapes through Candy Cane Village and over the swirly, twirly tree. See, I got stuck because I think I was going too fast. And it I don't know why it does that. I think it's a little glitch. So I would have to come out and do it again because it's stuck. It's further down from these images. You would find that. Or again, take the image that you already have that has this and then just copy it. File, copy, and then you come in and tweak your image, which all your images are in. Well, they're either already in uploads. Typically when I download images from, whether it's Deposit Photos or whether it's Unsplash, I then drag them up here and I put them in my uploads so that I have them ready when I want to drag them over here. This is one that I had already done. But let's say that I want to take this coffee picture, and I just drag it until I see it populate the area, and then I change whatever I want to. Now see, all of a sudden my black image, my black box doesn't make sense here. So I would have to find another color to make that work. And I could maybe do a gray. I'd have to play around with the colors if I wanted to do that blank box. And I need something that's a little more brownish, grayish, to try to make that disappear. Yeah, and it doesn't look like that would work. So I would take that box out and just put the hashtag, right here. And that works as well. And if you double click on the image, you can see this one I have room to go up. So that is even better. And, well, I'd play with this one a little more. I'd probably use a different image or different template here. There we go. And I would leave the hashtag or whatever my saying is above the line instead of trying to put the box. So that's a quick show and tell. Up here you have your colors. So whatever you're selecting, you can change the colors of it. If I'm selecting font or the words, it's going to give me a choice here to change the font, the size, the color of the font. I can even make the spacing. So if I'm trying to fit it in an area and I want to squeeze the letters together, or I want to spread them out a little bit for clarity or taking up a little more space, you can make the lines. If you have multiple lines of text and you want to squish them more together, you can shorten your line height or put more height in there. You can make things transparent. So even the letters, I don't know why you would make your letters transparent, but this is where you would find transparent. Arranging is where some things, like sometimes you go to click something and it won't let you, these are working, but sometimes it's behind, so it won't let you select it. You come up to arrange and move it forward or back. And that's how you can make sure, like I want to make sure this image, for example, is in the back. So it's already as far back as it can go, but if I wanted to move it forward, you see it goes on top of the line. If I click forward again, it goes on top of the words. So then I could just click back and you'll see how many dots, how the dots are showing you how many layers you have. And so it helps you when you're trying to move things forward or back. So hopefully that's helpful. And that is a little Canva tutorial.